All right, think we're live, and we're at the park of all the places to be, the motherfucking park. Here we go, dude. Now, do I have a boner? Yes, I have an absolute erection right now. One, doing the show live in public is always a good call. You never know who will pop in, never know who will pop out. You never know. Welcome to the show. Let's get a poll going. We always love doing a live poll. I figure if we're in public. Let's see, what should the poll be about? Give me 1 second. Let me get this poll going. Give me 1 second. All right, there we go. Finally got a poll up. Took me a second. But welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome one, welcome all. Can't wait to get somebody in the chat, whoever wants to get in the chat, that is. But we are live, and we are ready to roll, by the way. Ready to roll hard. So I got the tripod up. I got the I got my sweet backpack here. So if I do get bored, I want to hang out in the park for a bit, kind of relax, get a little do the gay show. As always, this show is very homoerotic, especially in the park. But so we're in the park right now. We are live and in charge. I'm large and in charge. I'm feeling large. I'm feeling very buff right now. I been doing a little more workouts. Been trying to stick to it. Try to do long 10-second dead hangs on the pull-up bar when I can. It's very fun. But I'm excited for you all to be with me. Make sure you guys like the video. Like the video, most importantly. The more likes we get, the better. Also, subscribe to the channel if you can. We need more simp. We need more simp subscribers more than ever. Yeah, so I'm a huge fan of Trump's tariffs. Obviously, I've been all about it. So the poll says Trump's tariffs are amazing, awful, or something. What do you guys think? I do like hearing the opinions of others. And I'm not here to sway. I really don't want to sway too many people from one side to the other. I just really want to. I like getting a gauge on how the people feel. You know what I mean? Let's see. Make sure you guys, like I said, like the video though. More likes, the better. Let's see. Berlin Gobel said hi, hello. Appreciate it big time. Thank you. And then Row X Row says, I love you. The Brickster says hello. We got already a ton of people in the chat, which is beautiful, by the way. More people, the better. More conversation, the better, as always. I'm a big fan of, talking. I'm going to try to move myself a little more over this way. But, yeah. I think what's happening with the tariff situation, I'm glad we're still pushing tariffs on China because I do believe they've been the worst last time I checked. But yeah, I think it's good that we're getting different countries at the negotiation table trying to lower tariffs across the board. So that way we don't have to tariff anybody, and I think it's good. But I still think tariffs will be a good thing for the United States overall, even if we increase our tariffs a little bit. We have a huge debt. And that's a big deal. So the only way one of the few ways to lower down the debt would be either raise income taxes or spend less, raise income taxes, or raise tariffs. Honestly, I think all three are actually pretty viable options because $36 trillion in debt's pretty massive. So I say I'm all on board with all of them. If we need to raise taxes a little bit for a bit, sure. As long as it's not permanent, I'm fine with it. Tariffs, raise the tariffs. Totally fine with that too. Cut government spending, sure, absolutely. The federal government's a little too bloated for my mind, and be a good thing. But yeah, I love Trump's tariff plan. I think it's really smart. But make sure you guys like the video, though. Subscribe to the channel as well. More subscribers we get, the better. But I'm loving the live chats. Ray Dawsett says hi. The Brickster says, "What are you talking about?" He's also saying I'm British. Honestly, when it comes down to it, yeah, I'm all on board with these tariffs, man. I think people are a little too weird about it, And by the way, if you're wondering what park I'm at, it's actually one of my favorite spots, but I'll just let you know I am at Mingus Park, and it took me a little bit of time to walk down here. I live miles and miles away. But here's the poll, though. Make sure you guys like the video, though. Gotta get more likes on this thing, man. More likes, the better. So we got Trump. Let's see. Trump's tariffs are 67% of you said amazing, nice. 17% of you said awful. 17% said something. So I think something's kind of like a more indifferent response. Basically, people are like, I don't know. But from what I could tell, 67% of you loving it. But we'll see, man. We'll see how many more people get on board on here, and we'll see how many more people participate in the poll. Yeah, I think that. Let's talk about the bull run that happened, though. I know that we were so caught up in the poll itself about the tariffs alone, but I say that I think it's good that he's putting a 90-day pause. I think it's an interesting way to do it, especially with our existing trade partners, except for China. I think that's smart because, in a lot of ways, China's, been really abusing the U.S. and honestly the world, if I might say so. So good on him for raising up the tariffs a little bit. And sure, China's going to do retaliatory tariffs. Here's the thing, man. Trump don't give two shits. My boy don't give two shits about China. And I mean, China's a beautiful country, but their government is ran like crap. It's basically it's a legit dictatorship. And yeah, they say it's a People's Republic, but really it's not. It's just it's a whole thing, whole mess. Make sure, by the way, you guys, I'm gonna simp really hard. I need more simps. All right, I need you guys to like the video. I need you guys to subscribe to the channel. The more simps we get, the better. More simp subscribers we get. I will try to do more episodes where I lather myself up in baby oil, just like the Didster, and be smart about it. As you all know, I love doing these types of videos, being live and in nature. I feel like it's a good way for me to get outside for a bit, and I love nature, and I love being here at the park. It's a very calming place. I come out here sometimes to read, and that's the thing, man. Find a good place to read. Get yourself a nice little backpack. Preferably, I'd actually rather have a hiking backpack. This is more of a laptop backpack, but overall, it's one of my favorites to have. It's one of the best. It's the best of all time. One of the best. But is that a mosquito? God damn it! I gotta start. Mosquitoes might be coming out here pretty soon. So I may have to, at some point, get my ass out of here. Once it gets a little too dark, which could be soon. Oh wait, I got bug spray in here. I actually can apply bug spray. I have bug spray in my backpack. This is why I love this backpack. I'm always prepared and I don't even realize it. See, look at that. Bug spray for days. One thing I'll definitely do is spray my legs with bug spray. Always a good call. So this is the bug spray that I like to use. What Daddy likes to use. Repel, baby. This is poof. Okay, let's spray it on the legs. At least I know my legs aren't going to get chewed up. Spray it on myself here. Stand up while I spray it. There we go. And I think the rest of my body's pretty much good. I'm pretty covered, but all right. Okay, so my face, I'm gonna just pull up my collar. Should protect my mussy. Hold on, I'll just do a little bit on the old neck. There we go. Okay, so we got, this is the good shit right here. It's kind of burning the legs. I wonder if this stuff isn't, it probably has an expiration date on it somewhere. I'm not gonna lie, I've had this for a long time. Yeah, that's all right. I've used this stuff before, it's always really good. Oh, that's Mr. Antoine, dude. Mac, Antoine's saying, Mac, what's happening? I'm at the park right now, chilling out. I'm on the kind of the upper hill, kind of close a little bit to the pool. But as you can see, I'll give you guys a bit of a preview where I'm at. There's the pool. That's like the pool front place, but you can't really see the pool from here. But you can see like the whole park. Yeah, it's good shit, man. Loving it. Chilling out at the park though, man. Got the tripod up and just spraying myself down with a little bit of bug spray. But yeah, I decided, I was like, well, you know, I didn't feel like really going out for a drive. And oh, Antoine's back in the Klamath area, dude. I need to go down. I should probably one of these times go down there, man. That'd be kind of fun. But my man, dude, I realized your birthday was just a few days ago. Hold on. Yeah, I think it was. Yes, it was. Happy belated birthday, by the way. I don't think I actually wished you a happy birthday, man. Sorry about that. Well, happy belated birthday, though, my man. I realized that I totally spaced out on that. I swear to Christ, man, I always space out on April birthdays. Like my bro's birthday happens like on, you know, April 5th and stuff like that, and I just spaced out that everybody else has a birthday, and a lot of people have birthdays in April. Hell yeah, brother. I think you're see you yesterday on Sunday. Thank you. Oh, you got it, brother, man. Yeah. Tylord's gonna be a little lonely. I'll have to keep my boy a little bit of company from time to time. My boy's gonna have to come over. I'll have to get my boy over, and I gotta stop keeping him. You know, he keeps staying in the trunk, and oh yeah, Christians is in a couple days. That's right. Yep. Freaking A, man. Ballers, dude. It feels pretty good to be at the park, though. Yeah, I thought I didn't have bug spray on me, and I realized, oh, wait. Said, yeah, invite him over whenever y'all free. Yeah, I got to get my boy Tylord over, man. Yeah, I'm usually just... Like when I'm home, if I'm just doing a live streams, I really don't like. If I were home right now doing a live stream, I would just tell you guys to barge in, or just meet me down here. I really do enjoy doing these out in the open streams a little bit. Sorry guys, it's got a bit of a headache. I think the bug spray gave me a little bit of a headache. That's okay though. But it helps keep the mosquitoes away. That's a good thing. Yeah, I think they have like a baseball tournament, like little league tournament thing going on down there. Anthony says, for real, that would have been cool doing a park stream. Yeah, it's funny. On Monday, I was actually chilling out up here. I didn't do a stream. I just did a couple short videos, but I was drinking some of those pub beers that you guys had left for me. I brought a couple down in a backpack. And dude, I threw up really badly at night. Like I don't think I jive very well with pub beer anymore. There's something about pub beer that doesn't sit well with my stomach anymore. I just feel really gross, and I just start throwing up like crazy. It's weird. So I may have to start staying away from the pub beer, boys. I might have to start converting to Bud Light or Coors Light. You know, I gotta drink Bud Light. I gotta make myself feel tight, dude. But no, pub beer like I don't know what it is, but like every time I drink pub beer, it feels like I get a little nauseous. I feel a little queasy. Other beers don't do that to me, and it could be an ingredient that they put in there. It could be like, you know, if it's sitting in the can for too long, I don't know if the metal in the can starts melting with it or something, or what the hell happens. But yeah, just pub beer doesn't. It really kind of fucks with me a little bit. So I'm trying not to drink any pub beer. I'm just gonna keep the pub beers that are in my fridge, though. That Tyler can have those at any time. He's always welcome to those. But yeah, man, this is fun. I love doing these streams. And also sometimes I don't like to be home, man. I'm working. Yeah, I got to stick. I love Modelo, dude. Honestly, I love me some cervezas, my brother. Hell yeah, dude. I love the Negra Modelo, and I love the straight up lager, the straight up lager. Dos Equis, though, I got to admit, is probably one of the most underrated beers of all time. Oh, by the way, you guys, you got to like the video. How many times do I got to tell you mofos out there, you got to like the video? How else is Daddy gonna get his balls in the right direction? All right. So, all my brothers out there, my brony brothers, you gotta like the video. Anyway, exactly. Yeah, you know, I mean, like my home is my office, so it's nice to have a secondary place to kind of. I mean, I'm pretty close to the park for the most part, you know. Dang, even with the bug spray, the mosquitoes are hovering a little bit. I put some bug spray on. I might need to put a little bit in my hair. Actually, that actually might be a good idea. Hold on. I'm going to put a little bit of bug spray in the old hair real quick. Just going to kind of put it in my hands and start kind of wiping down the old hair. But yeah, it's mosquito season, it feels like. Give me 1 second. But yeah, I love coming down here because this is a place I can chill out, drink a beer, maybe just drink a lemonade or something. And since I don't live that far, it's basically like having, I legitimately, it's like having this is like my whole backyard. And it's kind of nice. I like it. But what I'm trying to say is I'm basically living at the park. Let's see here. Spraying. Now, what do I like to do? I don't like to put it on the hands. I like to just spray it. Hold on. Yeah, I'll put some on the hands, why not? But hold on. You guys gotta like the video, man, because I'm inhaling tons. I'm basically. I feel like I'm inhaling too much of this shit right here. This is the good shit. Repel, baby. Repel. You gotta keep those mosquitoes off your ass, dude. And make sure you guys like the video. Subscribe to the channel. We need more simps, baby. Got to get more simps in. We got to get more repel. Repel, baby. Keeps Diddy away. It keeps mosquitoes away, too. Hold on. Fuck it. I'm just going to put it in my hands. Put some on the ears. Oh, I was watching some of that, by the way, some of the Mavs game. Man, dude, I was watching the first quarter, and dude, the crowd was basically like, fire Nico the whole fucking time, and dude, justified, by the way. Nico has become public enemy #1 in Texas, I'll tell you. And I'll probably end up watching the highlights later, but yeah, I watched like the first quarter and a half. I watched, yeah, dude. I'll have to. Oh man. Oh, Luka going off? Hell yeah, dude. I can't wait to watch those highlights, bro. Because I was like, oh man, the game was too intense. Like, also I had to get out of the house. I was like, fuck it. I was like, kind of going stir crazy. But I'll check out those highlights later. I'll let you get back to it, man. Dude, go Luka, go Lakers, bro. I mean, I'm usually not a Lakers fan, but honestly, when they got Luka Doncic, dude, I became like a huge fucking Laker fan, dude. I went full bandwagon. Make sure you guys gotta subscribe. I need more simps, dude. I need more likes in these damn videos. Where are the likes, people? I'm starving for likes on this video. I'm desperate. I'm pleading. I need more fucking likes. I'm doing IRL streaming for you guys, and nobody cares. Nobody wants my mussy. The bussy is the mussy, and I don't know why. Let's see. Boo Lakers. I like Luka, though, says Antoine. Laughing emojis. Yeah, go Lake Show, dude. Honestly, the moment they got Luka, dude, I was like, fucking A, dude. I'm bandwagoning, dude, because the Portland Trailblazers, we ain't doing shit this year. Portland is doing nothing, man. I'm just so disappointed in the Blazers right now. Fucking crazy, bro. Feels good to be out here, though, dude. I'm all bug sprayed out right now. I've got like all the bug spray on me. Feeling good, though. Feeling good in the park. But as you can see, beautiful. This is not green screen behind me. This is the real stuff, dude. Look at this. Oh. Look at that. I'm gonna give you guys a better angle. It's beautiful. Got little park benches over here. But yeah, it's a good spot. Good spot to do a live stream. Honestly, more than anything. Oh, here we go. But yeah, I'm hoping that everybody is enjoying. The weather's not the greatest today, but honestly, it's kind of nice and warm. It's not like windy or anything. It was really windy the other day when I came out here on Monday, and yeah, it was really fucking windy. But yeah, make sure you guys like the video. We need more likes. You know, as much as I want subscribers, you know, if you guys can subscribe, obviously, I'm not gonna, but definitely more likes we get, the better. It puts the channel out there. I'm trying to get the channel a little more live recognition, so the more we can get out there, the better. But please make sure you like the video. It gets me erect. I get very erect when people like the video and subscribe to the channel. You guys want to see me do some workouts? I mean, I'm up here, and I'm bored. I want to do maybe I'll do like some kind of long push-ups. You know, kind of like see what we can do here. Kind of pumped, dude. I got to get my mussy. Gotta keep the mussy fresh, all right? That's the one thing about this channel that people need to respect, is I'm all about fresh mussy, all right? Oh shit, yeah. Oh, that felt good. But yeah, no, it's all about the fresh mussy life, you know? The mussy is the boom buttsy. Yeah. It's a motherfucking bee. I think the bee left. Fuck it. But Mussy Monday, dude. It's always Mussy Monday here on the Michael Garza show. We're, like I said, we're very much a mussy-friendly show, and that's the way it's always been. And I think that's the way it always should be. Well, as much as I'm encouraging everybody to like the video, for every like, oh man, I lost a like. Damn it. Everybody's unliking the video. Damn it, that sucks. I need my likes back, you guys. Come on, man. The mussy is the bussy. Well, I will say if you guys can subscribe, great. If you guys can't, whatever. But yeah, the stock market rally's been insane. Hold on. Sorry about that, folks. I was wiping my lips and I could taste a little bit of a little bit of that bug spray in my mouth. Shit's awful. Oh, I got a sock in here though. I can wipe my face with a sock. It's my clean sock. Well, it's most likely a jizz sock. Let's be perfectly honest here. It's always a jizz sock. Anyway, let's see. We got 8 votes in the poll. So we got 75% of you say that Trump's tariffs are amazing. That's awesome. 12% of you say awful. Okay. 12% of you say something. Interesting. Oh boy. That was a technical difficulty. I ever saw one. Almost broke. I think we're good. So I basically knocked my camera, my phone, down a bit, trying to get this thing back up and running here. Okay, that was a little wild. All right. Let's try not to have that happen again. Now, I figure worst case scenario, I could put my backpack right here and then keep it kind of as a failsafe, so if it does drop, at least it's got a soft cushion. Let's see. Oh, Tim Smith is on. We got Tim Smith here. Gotta look good for my boy, dude. The bussy is the mussy. Tim Smith says, I bought 45 shares of my favorite ETF this morning at $8.75 per share. By end of day, it was up to $10.17. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's funny because I ended up buying this morning before the rally happened. I bought a whole bunch of SCHX, which is that one holding that I've been really swing trading hard, but I bought a pretty good amount of it. This mosquito's starting to come out. Hold on. They're kind of hovering, but I think they're staying away from me because I got this repellent on for the most part. Let me make sure that my back end is covered. Oh, since the mosquitoes are coming out, I'm trying to keep myself protected as much as possible. I should have brought myself a big old mosquito net. Put it over myself. But yeah. Bug spray though, you gotta always have it, man. So I love having it in my backpack at all times. Let's see, so what else we got here? Let's put this up a little bit. So let's see. But hell yeah, dude, that's a good increase, man. Holy shit. Hell yeah. So you buy. So wait, which ETF was it? The one was it the Harvest one that you were talking about? I guess the Harvest ETF or something like that. That's the one that has like the Magnificent Seven in it and all the good stuff. See me, I'm just like whatever ETF gives me diversification and allows me to swing trade it. Well, I'm pretty much any ETF allows you to swing trade it, but it's easy to swing trade something that you know is good, and or at least you know is going to be good long term. That's why I'm very much like, even if a bear market happened, you know, I could always reap the dividends. But yeah, I was buying low. Man, I was buying those at very low prices, and it's smart that you were able to buy as many as you could at like lower prices. Seriously, that's very smart of you, man. And, you know, swing trading's a real thing. You can actually make a daily income, oddly enough, doing swing trading. It's good to stay diversified, though. And honestly, and here's the thing: 20% of my portfolio is strictly designated for swing trading alone, and that's it. And I do reap dividends from 80% of the portfolio. I might as well get out my handy dandy notebook. I brought my backpack along, so I got my handy dandy notebook full of gay porn here. It's my Star Trek notebook, by the way. It's got all the different Star Trek ships, which is pretty dope. Check that out. Look at that. So yeah, I'll give you guys a quick look here. So you got like the Enterprise E right there. You got all the good stuff. You got Voyager. You got the good shit. Let me pull out the. Let's see. Just looking real fast here. Okay, here we go. Let's find a random page and we'll roll with it. Let's use the pen. It's not like I really erase anything. If I need to, I'll scribble things out. Use the pen and let's roll. So Tim Smith is saying, yeah, Harvest, high income shares, mostly Mag 7, plus some other mostly NASDAQ stocks. I have now passed 600 in monthly dividends. Dude, that's really good. Tim Smith right here is getting a pretty good little side income. Now, as much as I do love covered call ETFs and all that shit, which it's surprising because you're saying that the Harvest one is only 30% of it is covered call basis, right? So if 30% of it's covered calls, like 30% of its holdings are covered calls, then 70% of it, that means 70% of it's just there to grow, which is perfect, by the way. I think that's how it was. Wasn't that how it went? I think I might have been wrong. I might be wrong. I might be right. But it's great that it's not 100% covered calls. It's a good balance, because covered calls obviously give you that derivative income because they're using 30% of the portfolio as collateral for those call contracts, which is super cool. Tim Smith says, yeah, it's about 30% covered calls, but they can do up to 50% covered calls if they want. Hell yeah, dude. Well, that's actually kind of a beautiful thing. It does sound like it's fairly actively managed. As long as it's managed well, that's the most important thing. Yeah, but actually any covered call ETF is technically, what am I saying? It's technically actively managed. And most of them run off of a certain formula anyway. Some of the covered call ETFs that I have in my portfolio that just kind of sit there and give me a little bit of side income are the XYLD, QYLD. What's the other ones? Trying to just go off memory right now because I could kind of look at the other stuff, but yeah, those are. So I have a whole bunch of like different covered call ETFs that I kind of just have sitting around in my portfolio, which is, in my opinion, one of the smarter things I could do. But yeah, I really do love covered call ETFs, especially if they are doing covered calls on like indexes overall, which is even more fantastic. Because I feel more comfortable doing a covered call on a very diversified index of slow moving. I'd like to say slow moving, slow growing companies, because those premiums are pretty sexy, and a lot of the people who buy those call option contracts are just gambling most of the time. So sometimes you might lose, but I like the fact that each of those covered calls that I have, like the XYLD, the QYLD, they all their call options, the contracts they create expire after about a month, which is great, which allows for that monthly derivative income to stream in. But yeah, no, it's pretty cool though that 30% of the ETF itself. I got to find something similar to that. Let's see. I might even try to ask ChatGPT, see if it knows anything about. I mean, honestly, I could technically create my portfolio to be something similar to yours naturally. I would just have to. I'd have to make sure that I deliberately have 30% of my portfolio strictly in covered calls, and then the other like 70% of it would be strictly into long-term holdings. But of course, like I said, the other way I get income for the portfolio itself is having certain ETFs that I swing trade. When you swing trade certain ETFs, it's kind of a big deal, at least in my mind. I love swing trading ETFs, man. There's nothing better. Swing trading ETFs, and just writing down a couple notes here. ETFs is sexy. I also just like to write because you never really know like what sort of random inspiration is going to come to your mind when you're writing. So I always try to write when I can. I need to start carrying around a little notebook in my pocket. That's what what's his nuts, the creator of OpenAI, Sam Altman, does. He has like a little he's a notepad like this, about this big. Kind of carries it with him and stuff. And God, this is the most peaceful show. I need to just start doing this show out in the park more often. The only problem is well, in a weird way, I could do this show out in the park. I just have to upgrade my phone plan. So I'm on the $20 a month plan, and I think if I went to the $25 a month one, I think I'd get at least 30 or 35 gigabytes of data per month, which would be more than enough to do like, 15 or 20 outdoor shows. It depends on how much money YouTube makes me over that time frame. If I start getting really, really big, yeah, I'll definitely upgrade my mobile data. But yeah, doing the show, all I need is a tripod. All I need is my little backpack, my tripod, and I'm ready to go. I got my little books as well. But yeah, being able to do this is just fantastic. Thought I heard somebody. No, nobody's trying to mess with my bussy. Everybody's trying to mess with my bussy, dude. I just assume everybody's after my bussy. Oh, I got white shit on me. What the hell? Oh, I think that's just paint. At least, it better be paint. I don't know what that is. Whatever. But yeah, overall, swing trading ETFs is beautiful. It's sexy. It's easy. There's really nothing complicated about swing trading an index ETF, though, which is nice. Just because I'm super involved with my portfolio anyway. It's what's nice is it actually has become a second job for me because I'm able to fund my portfolio through the swing trading methods that I'm using, and it's been kind of a win-win situation. And since I'm a buy and hold forever kind of guy, I'm able to take a lot of my dividends as well on top of the profits that I get from swing trading, and just find things to reinvest in. Another thing of beauty with all this is being able to, what's the term? With all the margin that I get, I'm able to do quite a lot of stuff, like quite a lot of different forms of swing trading, and it's very, very fun. It's a lot of realized profit, realized loss, stuff like that happens. But yeah, it was really nice. It was really cool to see a bull run happen. There was a part of me that was hoping that the sell-off would continue a little bit, but I think people realized that it was a little bit premature. I think the markets could go back on a bull run. Who knows? I mean, I'm okay with either result. Whether it goes on a bull run, whether it doesn't. That means I could swing trade a little bit more my the holdings that I have for the, what do you call it? The SC. I'm gonna write it down. SCHX. That's the one I've been swing trading like a maniac, and it's a good one. I like the fact that it's 752 large cap companies in the index. That's huge to me, man. That's really huge. But anyway, sorry, I'm talking too much, you guys. If there's any questions in the chat and anything anybody wants to say, As you all know, as like all Ferengis, I'm all ears. So I'm always happy to listen. But feels good. Feels real good right now. This is the best spot, man. Nobody goes. Nobody. It's funny because nobody actually goes up here to hang out and chill. There's like 3 really good like tables up here, and just nobody chills out up here. I love it. Nobody really goes out anymore. That's the one thing I'll say. People go out obviously, but if there's a little bit of overhead clouds and stuff, yeah, nobody really wants to go out. And yeah, it looks like it's probably gonna rain. I don't know. It might rain. It's not. The clouds aren't really dark enough for it to look like it's gonna rain yet. But yeah, man. I love, dude, Tim. I don't know if you're still on at the moment, but I do love the Harvest ETF that you got going on. I think it's a pretty cool move, especially since like you said, like you had mentioned, 30% of it uses 30% of the holdings as collateral for covered calls. I think that's fantastic. So I was thinking, it probably would be a good idea for me to have a few more covered call ETFs sitting around in my portfolio, just sitting there, just kind of giving me more just side dividend income and stuff. But the nice thing is, man, I get a lot of free cash flow just from all the dividend holdings that I have, all the real estate investment trusts. I bought a lot of real estate investment trusts during the there was like a down cycle in the market, and real estate investment trust got hit really hard, and I bought I really diversified my portfolio in real estate investment trust for sure. That's like one sector that I love because honestly, real estate is a beautiful thing. No, hold on. Yeah, I think real estate's fantastic. I think more people should be invested in it, but as far even if the beauty is we live in a day and age where even if you can't get a hold of actual physical properties yourself, I mean, you can put money down into real estate investment trusts, and you're owning, like, this is the thing, man. You're owning, I like to note these things down, owning companies. You're right. You're owning companies that own real estate, and they lease out said real estate, right? And there's huge advantages to that. Like, I think that people don't always take into account. And people really are getting people are on the right track if they're always investing. So, and staying diversified is a huge key. Being diversified in large cap companies has helped me out quite a bit. When I saw the large cap indexes go down, I started pouncing. I pounced really hard, got in as many as I could. And tomorrow, I will say, if there is another bull run in the market, I am definitely, trickle selling what I have. I'm going to sell maybe like 1 or 2 shares of the SCHX. That is one of my swing trading ETFs. The other swing trade ETF that I have, like I said, all the other ones I just own like 1 share of every single ETF or individual stock that I have. But there are 3 ETFs that I designate only for swing trading. This is not financial advice. I always like to make that very clear to people. But these are the ones that I like to swing trade personally. So one, I hate Bitcoin. I think it's a Ponzi scheme. So I have 2 ETFs that are dedicated to shorting Bitcoin, and that is BITI, the BITI, and then the SBIT. Now, why do I have both of these? Well, honestly, I just like having the BITI, and I didn't discover the SBIT until recently. I like the SBIT because it has more ups and downs. It's a lot crazier. It's a lot crazier than the SBIT because there's a minus 2x exposure. And what that means, in a nutshell, is that if whatever Bitcoin does, SBIT does the opposite, but times 2, right? So I'll give you a set example. Okay, I'll give you a little example here. So let's say Bitcoin went up 4%, right? Okay, BTC, boom. And then we got like the SBIT, right? So if Bitcoin goes up 4% in a day, well, the SBIT goes down minus 8% in a day. So it's that 2x, that minus 2x. So the beauty is, if Bitcoin goes up on a bull run, which whenever it does, I am always betting against it. because I think Bitcoin's a Ponzi scheme. Now, look, it's not every day you get to bet against a Ponzi scheme, man. Like, I honestly feel like, and this is terrible, but this is the term that I'm using. I feel like I'm stealing from an adult baby, right? You know the old saying, stealing candy from a baby? Well, I feel like I'm stealing candy from an adult baby, which I think anybody who gets into Bitcoin at a massive scale is an adult baby who doesn't understand money. That's my that's my philosophy. But yeah, I think if you think that crypto is money, then you don't understand what money is, and you don't understand that it is a very clever piece of software. I'll give you that. It's really cool. I love cryptography, and I love peer-to-peer shit. I think it's great. Peer-to-peer software is awesome. But you can't convince me that that a string of data is worth a ton of dollars. The only time a string of data is worth anything is if that string of data is an idea on a floppy drive. Not just kidding. But if let's say that string of data actually has meaningful information on it, yes, that's a different story. Then yeah, you'll pay money for it. If it's a good idea, then you'll patent it and all that shit. Obviously, you buy ideas. But this is not an idea. I mean, Bitcoin itself is obviously an idea. I'm saying the end result, the Bitcoin that you buy, is literally just a string of data. There is nothing valuable about it, nothing at all. And I think that the more people get that through their head, the better off they will be. But hopefully, we're you know, we'd love to live in a perfect world, I guess. But we don't. Well, what else is on the agenda today? Hey, make sure you guys like the video. Any more likes? Need more likes. I'm making you feel guilty. Got to make you feel guilty about not liking this video. And I know you want to like it. I know how you roll. I could make a horror movie, man. I want to make a horror movie, straight up. I think what people are doing is they're liking the video at first, and they're unliking it. That's what I think they're doing. But yeah, I'm telling you, the one thing I like about the biddy, for instance, Bitcoin, even though I think Bitcoin's stupid, I think it's a Ponzi scheme. Bitcoin like went up 8% today, actually, or something around that amount. It probably went even higher. And I'm probably going to look at the overnight trading here in a bit, just so I could buy more SBIT. But yeah, since Bitcoin's a Ponzi scheme, you know, and it went up 8%, I definitely, like, the SBIT went down 16%. Well, that was a good buying opportunity, actually. So I bought more of the SBIT. I mean, in hopes that Bitcoin will crash. I mean, look, Bitcoin is dumb. It's really a dumb idea. It's one of the stupidest fucking ideas in the world when it comes to. Okay, I'll tell you what. It's constructed very well, and it's a magnificent piece of software. On paper, it looks great, right? But here is the thing about it. It's a Ponzi scheme is still a Ponzi scheme. And the fact of the matter is, there's nothing intrinsically valuable about Bitcoin or any crypto. All of it's a scam, right? So if there's no intrinsic value, and I hate the fact that people are saying that there's legitimate companies trying to convince people that this is actual money. That's sad. You know, we are kind of living in clown world a little bit. I do agree with that sentiment. It's something I hear from time to time, is that we're living in clown world. And honestly, I agree. But yeah, so the SBIT like went down minus 15%, went down 16%, and hey, the more it goes down, the better, man. Because when Bitcoin, I call it Clickcoin at this point, but when Bitcoin does go up on bull runs, I'm able to buy the dip of the SBIT, so I could bet against it even harder. And betting against, you know, it's not every day you get to bet against a Ponzi scheme, man. Like, how often can you say in your life that you had the opportunity to bet against a Ponzi scheme? An obvious one, you know what I mean? Like, it's so bloody obvious, but somehow people are saying it's the future of money. It's the future of whatever, right? It's not. It's not. But yeah, it's pretty good. So make sure you guys buy my course on how to buy Bitcoin. Just kidding. Just kidding. Don't do that. Oh my God, if I ever came out with a stupid course like that. I'm starting to kind of get into the ebook realm a little bit. I've been I'm gonna probably try to release a series of short ebooks on the on the GarzaMedias.com website on just how to invest better, stuff like that. I might even do a part 2, a revised edition. Kind of improve upon the first one. Maybe do like a part 2 or just or actually a parody of that one, just how to invest shittier. You know, I think that'd probably be a good idea. But yeah, overall, I mean, what you're seeing here is really bullshit scratch notes. Obviously, bullshit scratch notes right there. God, I love sitting on the bench. So much fun. But yeah, overall, long-term investing is the key. I think that if you're too short-term on your outlook, you're just a gambler. And so just remember, if you're short-term, you're a gambler. If you're long-term, well, I'm also trying to take notes so I can give like a kind of summary at the end of this video. If you're long-term, well, you're an investor. That's what an investor is. An investor is more of a long-term person. Now, if you are you could be in the middle. You could be in the middle. There's short-term and long-term, but there's kind of, I like to call them the middle-termers, right? The mid-term. So like they're kind of in limbo between short-term and long-term investing, right? And that's what I like to call swing traders. I consider myself a little bit of a swing trader, considering that 20% of my portfolio has 3 ETFs. 20% of it is weighted that way, or roughly. Maybe it's about 23% at the moment, but those 3 ETFs represent a part of my portfolio that is strictly swing traded and not a long-term investment. And then honestly, there's so many ETFs out there that's great because I can dedicate 3 ETFs to one purpose, and then I can dedicate all my other holdings, whether it's an ETF or an individual stock. I could dedicate those to being long-term holds for life, and I could still diversify as much as I want to and always be in the market. So the goal is always be in the market. I'm very happy that I live in an age, like I've been saying, that I get to bet against a Ponzi scheme. I think that's fantastic. I think betting against Ponzi schemes is kind of, I wouldn't say my duty, obviously, but it's fun. Make sure you guys like this video, by the way. More likes, the better. But yeah, it's fun. I enjoy it. But hey, we got to give a shout out to my boy Tim Smith for, taking his finances into his own hands. It's really cool that he's able to get $600, $600 a month. That is wild to me, man. In incomes strictly through dividends, through derivative incomes, through the covered call ETF. But he also probably isn't taking account of the income that he gets from the dividends for 70% of the portfolio that isn't used as collateral for the covered call. He's probably not considering the fact that some of those dividends that he's getting, so like for instance, he's getting derivative income, right? So let's break down Tim Smith's ETF that he has, that Harvest ETF one. So we'll kind of break that down a little bit. So we got the 30% of it, 70% of it, right? So obviously 30% of it's covered calls. Well, what are the advantages of that? What are the advantages of Tim's being covered call? Well, one, income. Also, it's a very, it's a very set it and forget it. They're doing all the options stuff on their end. So that's the beauty there. So 30% covered calls. Now, it's 30% of the portfolio is being used as what's called collateral for those contracts they write. I'm just writing it out real quick. Sometimes I crystallize my thoughts a little bit better if I'm writing them down. Sorry. So overall, that's the best part about it. He can use 30%. The ETF uses 30% of those holdings as collateral. They can create those call options in which people will buy at a premium, and usually they get the income obviously from those premiums, from those contracts, which is huge, by the way. And then 70% of it, and then here's the 70% right here, where you just have your holdings sitting there. The holdings in the ETF are just sitting there. They're doing their thing. That's awesome. And so you can get, dividends. If there are dividend paying companies, obviously they're going to pay out a dividend within it. I can't remember all the companies that are listed in Tim's ETF that he told me, but the fact of the matter is, I think it's a great ratio that 30% of the portfolio is dedicated to being collateral for the covered call contracts. But 70% of the portfolio is left alone to grow, and I think that's important. So I think having part of your portfolio is income generation and the other part of the portfolio is growth is a huge deal. And I think he actually made a pretty smart move. Obviously, never financial advice. Talk to a financial advisor, all that gay shit. But Tim, right move, man. I love it. Couldn't have done it any better. Oh, we got Driving with Spice on, saying, hey, hey. So let's take a look at the poll real quick. So we got 11 votes in. All right, so with 11 votes, what do we see here? We got, so you guys are saying Trump's tariffs are sweet, amazing. I agree. 73% of you say amazing, 9% of you say awful, 18% say something. All right, my man. Well, as always, I knew my echo chamber would never let me down. Just kidding. But no, it's interesting. I do like to hear the opinions of people on YouTube. It's fun. But the tariffs overall, I think the way he went about it, little touch and go. I think people have been freaking out about it a little bit too much. But hey, you know what? If we can get more jobs back here in the U.S., if this can allow for more job creation and growth, I'm about it. Because the thing is, man, we've outsourced so many of the jobs in America that it's like you're getting to a point. You're getting to a really weird point, right? And look, there needs to be jobs for people who choose not to go to college. I'm lucky that, I've been able to maintain the same job for a while. I've worked hard, but, I've been lucky to be able to do that. I'm lucky to have this as an alternative. Whoa. Hold on. Did Tim Smith just say what I think he said? 87.99? Bitch, are you for real? Tim, are you for real? Better not have paid $87.99 for 2 fucking egg rolls. That's funny shit, though, man. Yeah, you better be paying. Dude, so I'm kind of curious what people think about Trump halting the tariff. I'm surprised he halted them for 90 days. I was really hoping that he would be pushing them forward, but I guess a lot of countries are trying to come to the table right now to stop these tariffs, and so that way they can negotiate kind of, I guess, fairer trade between two countries. And I guess a lot of them are coming to the table right now. So I think that, except for I don't think China really is, and I think that's why Trump is keeping those tariffs on China. Which I say all for it because, first off, China is a dictatorship, whether people like to admit it or not, and I'm fine with them tariffing China. I think that the U.S. needs to, and this is my opinion, U.S. needs to divorce China completely. The U.S. has been in bed with China for a long time, and we gotta get out of it. So, but man, I love doing the show in the park. This is so exciting. I've never done the show. Well, I've done the show in the park, but like in more secluded areas. This feels a little more out in the open. I'm kind of between some trees and bushes and shit, but it's fun. I'm having a good time doing this. But the show must go on. But yeah, overall, it's kind of like, I remember I took a look at Tim Smith's Harvest ETF, and I love the fact that, like I said, 30% of it's covered call options. Oh, I'm sorry, 30% of the portfolio is collateral for covered call options. It's fantastic. I mean, because the derivative income you get for covered calls is great, and you're letting the rest of your portfolio grow. Because let's say, hypothetically, let's say that ETF had the whole portfolio, right, as collateral. Let's say the whole thing was collateral for covered calls. There would be no growth in that, and there wouldn't be much of an increase in derivative payout either. So the thing is, you need the rest of that portfolio to still have some form of growth, and if you mitigate the growth if you use all of the holdings as collateral. You don't want to mitigate its growth. So the fact that they do 30% of the portfolio as collateral for those call contracts is fantastic, and it's actually pretty brilliant. And I'm surprised. I mean, nobody's really talking about it probably because I think it's a Canadian ETF. And I don't think I have access to those, but I'm pretty sure there are ETFs that are similarly constructed. Actually, there is one now that I think about it. So there is. It has a high expense ratio though, so I really don't like to. I don't like to be too involved in that one just because of how high the expense ratio is. But there is a. So there's one called XYLG, and it's the same. It's 50-50. It's a 50% covered call. 50% of the portfolio is covered call collateral, and 50% just sits there and does its thing. So there is growth there, but I like the 30-70 because see, it's almost like see, my favorite, I'll give you an example. My favorite type of portfolio is not a 60-40. So everybody always says, hey, you should be 60% of your portfolio should be stocks and 40% should be bonds. I think that's actually a shitty portfolio strategy. I actually prefer, I'm kind of crazy. I say 80% stocks. I don't even care what age you are, and 20% bonds, because here's the thing, the dollar is fucked in every single scenario because the dollar is not backed by gold. Those bonds get creamed over time in the fact that they're not inflation proof. Now, it seems like I'm going off on a tangent, but hear me out, folks. Hear me out. So 80% stocks, 20% bonds, right? I say if I were the owners of the Harvest ETF, and this is me personally, this is what I would do. I'm not real, I'm not an expert or anything, but I would say make 20% of the holdings as collateral for the calls, for those call contracts that are written. So, because they use a buy right strategy, right? They're buying the position first, then they write the contract next. They sell the contract for a premium, but they use 20%. But like I said, they use 20% of the holdings specifically dedicated for that purpose, and then 80% of the portfolio could be left as is, like an index, not touched in any way, and then bam, that's what I would do. I think a 30-70, I say 80-20. 80% left alone, 20% used for collateral. That's me personally. I don't know. I need to, maybe I should start an ETF. I think that's the key. You know what? You know what? I'm going to start an ETF, because if that Meat Spin Kevin guy can do the PP ETF, which is crazy, if he did the PP ETF, then I can do, I actually have no idea what the ETF would be called if I did it, but it would be an 80%, 20%, the 80-20 rule, oddly enough. Huh. Translates. Anyway. Okay, so let's take a look at the comments real quick. So we got Tim Smith says, the stock market added over $3.5 trillion today. Hell yeah, make sure you guys like the video, by the way. Like the video. And subscribe to the channel, please. Daddy's desperate. Daddy needs your subscription. But yeah, stock market added over $3.5 trillion today. That's really fucking good, man. Holy shit. Well, it's funny. I know that the... Obviously, I know that there were losses due to the, I guess you should say, loss of value due to the bear markets that happened. But because I was buying the SCHX, man, I was going cray-cray. SCHX, baby. And I bought those really low, as low of prices as I could get. And when I saw that bull run happen, I was like, oh, I knew it would happen eventually. I didn't think it would happen this soon. I thought the sell-offs were going to keep happening. To be honest, I thought people were just going to keep panicking and panicking and panicking, but that's crazy. $3.5 trillion in value added. That's crazy, man. But yeah, the thing is, man, Trump, I love Trump for doing what he's doing. He's forcing countries to not rip us off as much. he's allowing us to tariff at manageable rates, so that way we could, you know, encourage more companies to start, hiring. Sorry, I can't even speak. Encourage more companies to build, factories here in the U.S. I think it's fucking brilliant. Let's see. Let's see. Driving with Spices. What kind of last name do you have? Last name. What kind of last name do I have? Well, it's Mexican. What do you mean? Like, are you talking about like the country of origin? Well, technically Spanish, I think, but yeah, I'm basically I'm like a second generation Mexican. My dad's a first generation born U.S. Mexican. I'm second. I'm second generation. So but yeah, overall, that's pretty much it. But yeah, I think it would be fun to have an ETF that's 20. Like I said, it's like an index ETF that would maybe have, like, I don't know. Well, you know what would be interesting? I take that back. No, that'd be too much to do. Hold on, I gotta think about this one real quick. Yeah, that'd be tough. But, I think an 80-20, like I said, 80% of the portfolio is just left to its own devices, just sits there. 20% of it's used as collateral. And then, if you let that 80% grow, it's great. And then 20% can generate the income it needs to generate. Maybe I should think the structure of my own portfolio personally. Maybe I should consider maybe just having 20% of my portfolio be like covered calls ETFs, and then when I say covered call ETFs, I mean covered ETFs that are dedicated to purely being covered call ETFs, like that are 100% covered calls, and then the rest of my portfolio just kind of does its thing. So I could probably pull that off. I think that'd probably be a good idea, because then I'd be getting some extra derivative income. The only downfall is with a lot of those covered call ETFs, they tend to have higher expense ratios, which is why I don't like to hold too many of them. But I really do enjoy, a lot of my income lately has been coming from the SBIT, just me swing trading the SBIT, and swing trading the biddy a little bit, but, and then what was the other one? Swing trading the SCHX, which honestly is looking better and better every day. If it keeps going up on the bull run, who knows, maybe there will be another exciting bull run tomorrow. We shall see. I hope there is. I was, like I said, today I was really hoping that it would go down further, but because I want to get things at a better discount. The better the discount, the more fun it is. But I think we're gonna see a bit of a bull run. I don't know. I can't predict the markets. I don't know. I don't know what direction anything goes. I just don't. But yeah. All right, let's see. How much battery life do I got left? I got 24%. All right, I think I'll stick around for about 10 more minutes, I think. 10 more minutes out here. I think I'll go maximum time of hour 30 minutes. Most people, it's funny, actually, most people thought Garza is Italian. But I think it's also, so I found out recently that I actually am Italian on my mom's side of the family when she found out who her real dad is. And that was kind of cool, being able to figure out that I was like, what was it? That's probably why, because I kind of look a little Italian. I would say a little bit, not much, but I do have a bit of an Italian look to me, and because of that, I'm a Guido. That's why I always was attracted to the Jersey Shore. I thought that was such a cool show. Okay, just kidding on that one, but I'm the complete opposite of a Guido. Sadly, I dream of being a Guido. But yeah, overall, there's the short-term gambler, the long-term gambler. What are you going to be at the end of the day? Are you going to be, here's the thing. I think that you don't have to commit fully to either of those. I have to admit, my portfolio is 20% short-term, 80% long-term, if you think about it. Because remember, 20 to 25% of my portfolio is swing traded. And that's fairly short-term strategy stuff right there. That's 3 ETFs dedicated to short-term ups and downs. And luckily, I don't day trade. I don't believe in day trading. I just think that day trading's fucking stupid. I think that sometimes it's good to wait. Sometimes it's good to buy great indexes on the dip, and then when a bull run eventually happens, you don't know when it will happen. You never know. You'll be able to profit for the better. And I'm loving the fact that I hope Bitcoin crashes, though, because Bitcoin sucks. It is a Ponzi, but we'll see here. Bitcoin needs, I'm going to write that down. Bitcoin needs to crash because it sucks. Because it's stupid. And yeah, I mean, I got into Bitcoin early, but I still think it's stupid. I still think there's nothing valuable about it. I think it's more valuable to bet against it. But yeah, it's, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Throw a pen here. Let's try to throw a pen at you guys. Oh, hold on. Throwing the pen at the camera. Oh, son of a bitch. Hold on. Let me see here. All right. Fuck it. All right. All right. Hold on. I'm actually kind of glad I'm not drinking this time at the park because those pub beers made me not want to drink for a bit. I was like, fuck pub beer, dude. Pub beer is nasty. It doesn't work with me anymore, man. I used to be able to drink pub beer like a chief, but now I drink pub beer like a queef. And it sucks. Really sucks. Oh, man. Yeah, trying to read as much as I can. It feels good to be out of the house for a bit. Doing a show like this out and about needs to be done, as always. I'm always willing and ready to roll. Man, I got a lot of notes for this episode. Like I said, I always like to, jot down my thoughts, get some more crystal. I never really plan out the show, so I'm usually kind of writing as I go, as we're doing the episodes, and I'm just chilling. Writing in my handy-dandy notebook. Showing off my boobs. So 75% of you say Trump's tariffs are amazing. 8% of you say awful. 17% say something. Hell yeah. Well, I think they're good. I mean, I know people disagree with me on that. There's a few people who disagree with me on that, but I think that, it promoted a bit of a stock rally today when he stopped it. So, I was totally... Damn, I really was hoping that he would hold off just a little longer. I was hoping that it would just crash a little further. I was able to buy, I will admit, I was able to buy at a really, really low price today. The SCHX, I got it $19.20 per share. A few shares, actually. And then, but yeah, my portfolio is riddled with that particular ETF right now. It's a thing of beauty, and I love it. But yeah, it's fun to just keep swing trading and seeing what I could do, and hopefully I'll be able to make a pretty good amount of money. My goal really is to swing trade. The reason I'm swing trading so much is I kind of want to be able to pay off my car a little early. Maybe not super early, but have the money available to pay off the car if I really wanted to, and it's kind of a big deal to me. If I could pay it off sooner, the better. Yummy. Let's see. It's getting a little dark. The mosquitoes are out. I think they're trying to get into my butt. Gotta prevent them from getting into my ass. All right. Oh, there we go. Mosquitoes are always trying to get in my bussy and the mussy. Let's see. Man, I've been doing this show for over an hour and 14 minutes. I'm surprised not one single soul came up here, but I think if somebody hears a weirdo talking to himself, they're like, fuck that, dude. Not doing this. Let's see, we got 20% battery. We can keep this going for probably another 10 minutes. Let's keep going. Just keep going till the battery's dead. Fuck it. Or until it's too dark. It's getting really dark out here. Not really like super dark. You can still see me, obviously. You can still see what's going on. But this is an enjoyable experience. I love doing these live videos with you guys. 7:40 already? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I should probably get home here in a bit. Probably, I've been really doing a really good job of getting rid of stuff, minimizing, just really clearing out a lot of space in the home. I feel like one of the things I wasn't doing a very good job of was really getting a lot more space in the house, and just kind of minimizing, kind of having more cupboard space is a big deal. Is a big deal to me. I just feel like there's just not. I don't really have much. I really don't own much. Like I'm a straight up minimalist still. Like if you told me to move out of my place today, it'd be very easy for me to move out at any time. That would be a very easy thing to pull off. But yeah, I think being a minimalist is great. I think the one thing is I pretty much just rack up on stocks, and I bet against stupid shit. Obviously, that I bet against. I bet against dumb shit like Bitcoin. Anything that's stupid, I bet against it. But for the most part, I'm just a long-term investor. And a lot of my portfolio income just I would say because I only, like I said, 20% of my portfolio is straight up swing traded, and that's 20% of the that's a lot of the income that comes through, and then and those gains end up funding the portfolio quite a bit. So that's the best part about it. Yeah, I'm always trying to find ways though to fund the portfolio. Smartest thing you could do, man. Fund that portfolio as much as you can. Always funding it some way, somehow, some way, somehow. And then yeah, I just couldn't believe how much the was very interesting to see that rebound today. That's cool. Well, let's see what else we're going to talk about here. Let's see. Driving with Spice says, "Have you been getting a lot more exercise in lately?" A little bit. I been doing more of the dead hangs where I hang with my arms on the pull-up bar and try to pull myself up a bit. But usually I just try to stay on there for at least a bare minimum of 10 seconds. But I do a long 10-second count. So I'll be like, breathe in, and then in my head I'm saying 1 second, and then breathe out. I just say 1 as well. So I breathe in and say 1, breathe out, say 1, breathe in, say 2, breathe out, say 2, and keep the process going. So essentially, even though you're trying to make it feel like you're on the bar for less time, but really you're on there for more than 20 seconds if you do it right, which is awesome. It's a way to trick your brain into thinking it's a lot easier, and that's the way I tend to do it. So this car alarm's going off. Let's see, Driving with Spice is funny. I'll be right back. I gotta pick up this California Chicken Cafe food. Oh hell yeah, dude, get it. Get those orders in. I've only been doing it's funny because I've only been doing DoorDash like on the weekends. Because I'm working, so since I work 40 hours doing my call center job, 40 hours of that's dedicated to just doing that shit. And then the rest of it's all dedicated to either doing YouTube or reading books, and I've been trying to exercise more, but I've created a lot more space in my apartment, so it feels like it's less crowded, and I've been really trying to get rid of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that I just haven't touched in a while, stuff that I really don't need at the end of the day, and I've had to come to grips with that, and I was like, well, I just don't need this shit. And yeah, so I've been buying less stuff. As much as I love As Seen on TV products, I still look at those. Like, it's an addiction for me, sadly enough, but I still look at like As Seen on TV products and like Walmart and shit. And I'll well, I don't do much really. I don't buy anything unless I feel like it's something that's useful. If it's an as seen on TV product that's actually useful, I gotta like really ask myself, how useful is this product that I'm buying? Like, that's a big deal to me. Like, usefulness is a big deal. I'm a little disappointed. I can't find my damn flashlight. There's this flashlight that I have, and I can't remember where I put it. It is an as seen on TV flashlight, as well as one of those tech lights, and it's fucking dope. I gotta find it. I just don't know where I put it. And I like using it when I go outside at night, because you never know what sort of creeps are outside at night, you know. But yeah, overall, yeah. And another thing is, I'm glad I brought the backpack with the notebook, just because I need to start carrying around my backpack more often if I'm going on walks. Because one, if I kind of load it up with a little bit of stuff, it forces me to get my shoulders right, forces me to feel good. But I've been feeling like I'm getting a little more exercise lately, just doing the right stuff. Let's see, we're almost hitting that 1 hour. Let's see how much battery life we got. 17%. So I guess in the final stretch of the show, we could say, anybody got any final opinions? I was gonna say on the chat, anything you guys want me to discuss real quick? A question that you've had lingering for a little bit. I'm more than happy to answer to the best of my ability. But yeah, going back real quick, since I don't really have many chatters at the moment, but kind of going back to what Tim was saying about his about the ETF that he owns, the Harvest one. The fact of the matter is, I mean, I do think 30. I'm not gonna lie, 30% collateral for covered calls is actually pretty sexy overall. But I still think 20% of the portfolio should be used as collateral. That's my personal opinion. Because I think 20% of your portfolio should be generating a sizable amount of income. But then again, 30% is not bad. And I know that Tim is more income focused with his portfolio, so actually that works a little bit better for him. But I'm really happy to know that 70% of it's still growing and left untouched. Because if you leave it untouched and it's still growing, there's huge advantages to that, big time. So I don't want Tim to miss out on any of that shit. But Tim is thinking ahead. I know that last time I talked to him, at least last time he was on the show, he was saying something about like, some cuts were happening potentially to his work or his job or something. And he's not sure. There's a level of uncertainty happening in Tim's world at the moment. And I just hope that Tim is consistently having some form of income on the side. So that really matters to me. Driving with Spice is asking, is your dad in the same industry as you? The irony is I'm the complete opposite of my dad. He actually, fun fact, we do have one thing in common. We do like to use our voices for the detriment of humanity. And so my dad actually was in radio. He's still in radio. He's about ready to retire. So my dad actually, the funny thing is we have a very similar timbre to our voice. We have like radio voices and shit. But but my dad and I have completely different world outlooks, different outlooks on the world overall. So like my outlook is, because my dad's entire viewpoint is based on envy and jealousy, whereas mine is based on curiosity and learning from people who are doing better than me. So if anybody does better than my dad, for example, he's insanely jealous. He thinks that they're a scumbag, and that's why my dad's always poor. My dad will always be poor because he's got a shitty attitude towards people who are pretty much more successful than him. And the only reason he never realized that the only reason he's unsuccessful is because he has a shitty attitude towards people who do better than him, because his life is based around jealousy and envy. Whereas my life is based on, well, curiosity, learning, realizing that I don't have all the answers. My dad is a bit of a, my dad and I consider myself a little bit of a narcissist. I don't know to what level, but my dad is definitely on the edge of that for sure. He does think he's right all the time. He never, he he forces me to apologize for things, and I never get an apology from him. I've had to, you know, tell him multiple times his faults and why I don't talk to him. Sorry about that. I know I'm dragging this on right now, but yeah, overall, my dad and we're not in the same industry at all. We have, you know, I guess you could say, I guess we're a little bit in the same industry in the sense that we're in media to some degree. But I own, you know, I have my own show. He just, you know, works for a radio station and does some of their program stuff. So in a sense, yes, we are kind of we're in similar industries, but not the same. But as far as investing goes, my dad doesn't have a 401k, he doesn't have a brokerage account, he doesn't have any of that because he thinks it's unethical or some stupid shit. My dad also has excuses for everything under the sun, and I don't ever want to be like him. Like, he's the last person I want to be like. I don't even like to be around him because he treated me like shit throughout most of my life. I asked him for my birth certificate, for example, because I wanted to have that available if I wanted to get the real ID here in Oregon. And he kept telling me to basically fucking get a replacement. He sent me some bogus fucking link. I think he was getting fished, by the way, because he's a fucking idiot. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to find where my actual birth certificate is because it's in storage. And my dad would never hand it over to me. It's the weirdest thing. I told him, I want that fucking certificate. I want it fucking now. I managed to find it, and ever since then I haven't talked to him. I talked to him and told him he's a piece of shit, and I don't trust him. I think he's a lying sack of garbage. That's about it. But yeah, my dad is, I tell him this, I told him, I tell him to his face he's a piece of shit. I hated the way he treated me when I was younger. You know, if I was any more fucking stupid, if I was any more autistic, that motherfucker would have probably shot me in the head or something. I hate to say that, but my dad's a piece of shit. I only had, by the way, I have Asperger's syndrome. It's pretty fucking obvious. You could tell I'm a little autistic. But if I was any more autistic than that, I'm lucky I got Asperger's syndrome. Because the only thing I have are just social defects. And no filter. Other than that, I'm a fully functional human being. Like, my brain operates pretty well. But yeah, if I was any more autistic, no, my dad probably would have. If I was on, like, the spectrum of, like, oh, like, yeah, my dad would have probably aborted me in my teens. So yeah, I don't trust him. I don't like him. I don't want to be like him. And the less I'm around him, the happier I am. I've determined. You know, I've had members of my family try to convince me otherwise, and yeah, I'm better off not being around my own father. That's a tough decision to make. It really is. But yeah, when your dad's constantly treating you like shit, berating you, making you feel bad for the life you want to lead, when you're not even leading a bad one, by the way. I could have been a much worse human being, which honestly I'm not even that bad. I like to talk about my mussy on a fucking stupid YouTube show. But driving with Spice is smart. Love you, Brett. No, yeah. The only reason I'm telling you guys this, it's like sometimes you have to. If there are people in your life that are making you miserable, like your family, if your family's not good for you, sometimes you got to get them out of there. Sometimes your family can bring you down more than anything you ever. You know, it's like people say, like, you know, family sticks together, all that bullshit, and sometimes family's too toxic to stay around. And you kind of learn that the hard way, you know, because a lot of people try to convince you, it's like, you know, he's your dad or he's whoever, you know, it's like, no, when your dad treats you like shit because you're basically taller than him and a little autistic, yeah, no, I have no sympathy for the man at this point. I've pretty much, like, he'll try to text me, but I just don't respond because he doesn't have the balls to have a conversation with me over the phone. He's such a pussy that my dad only texts and he never fucking calls me to have a discussion. Like, it's the biggest pussy shit of all time. So, Let's see. Scrooty McBurger says that's why I moved half across the country from my fam. I understand. Yeah, absolutely, man. Sometimes when your family is just a little too toxic for you, man, you just gotta stay away. You just gotta cut. I don't even like to say that. I don't like to encourage it, because if you do, let's see. Driving with Spice says, do you ever film it? Film what? Are you talking about filming my conversations with my dad? No, those are private, but I don't film any conversations with my dad or anything. But I will say this, though. I do think he's a piece of shit, but I do respect his privacy and private conversation for sure. Let's see. Tim Smith says, President just signed an executive order allowing for greater water pressure in homes. Showers are great again. That's funny, dude. All right, you guys, I went off on a rant. I'm sorry about that. That was my bad. Driving with Spice had mentioned my dad, and I don't know. I try not to think about him that much, but when I do think about my dad, it's usually not pretty. It's usually me talking mad shit about my father. And luckily, I've said all these things to him. He already knows. It's just fun calling him out on it. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, sorry about that, you guys. Driving with Spice says, I need to get rid of a lot of stuff too. Absolutely. It's always a good thing to, sometimes it's a good thing to minimize, there's a lot of useless stuff that we have. Sometimes you got to itemize, I think doing a bit of a like balance sheet of like what you own, I think is a good thing. Having an active inventory of what you own is really good, because that forces you to actually, and I thought of something, because I actually have done it on paper, but I was like, why don't I just do it on like I could put it on like an Excel spreadsheet, right? So you can I could put it on the cloud. I could put it on like Google Drive or something. Do like a Google Google Sheets or whatever. Do like a little spreadsheet, and then do an itemized list of all the bullshit that I own, and then if I get rid of anything, I can deduct it off the list. But might be interesting, and then kind of doing a review of what you own. It's not a bad idea. I mean, I've had to really get rid of a lot of shit, go through drawers. I don't own that much though, and I still think I own too much. It's weird. It's a bit of a contradiction, but yeah, I've been trying to have just less stuff. I just don't need a lot. I've realized that I'm happier with less stuff. I mean, as long as I got the whole goal of this show, by the way, is to promote the one idea that I got from Tony Robbins, that I stole from Tony Robbins. And it's just obviously a good idea. It's called Income is the Outcome. It's simple. I mean, you hear it all the time. Income, it's a cheesy phrase, and it's very simple, but income is the outcome. So what Tim Smith is doing, by the way, I think is probably one of the smartest things I've heard, having an ETF that allows for 30% of its collateral being covered calls and 70% of it just staying as it is. Tim, I want to congratulate you, man. That's just going with the phrase income is the outcome. And man, smart mofo, man. Smart mofo. Anyway, you guys, I always feel like these shows, when I do them outside in the park, I feel like I'm doing a nature board meeting. Like, I'm sitting here with my notebook, and I'm just like, all right, how are we going to increase the profits? But let's see here. Tim Smith says, driving with Spice, looking good tonight. I love big... Tim. Oh, man, dude. Tim Smith is on one tonight, my man. Get it? Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. My Tim Smith loves big booty Latinas, as you can see in the chat, everybody. Yeah, my boy Tim Smith and Alex Stein dude, I would love to see Tim Smith on primetime Alex Stein. That's what I want to see. I'd love to see that. That's a collab for the ages. That's a collab I would love to see more than anything. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for your time, as always. Love chilling out here on on the bench. I feel like I got some good. I feel good. Yes, you guys see that fucking mosquito that just flew by? It flew right in front of the camera. Hell yeah, that was awesome. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for taking the time to view this episode. I used quite a bit of my data. Luckily, there's only like 4 more days until data renewal on there. But I want to thank you guys again. You guys are always an awesome cast of individuals, and I appreciate you guys big time. Thank you. And sorry you guys had to hear me trash talk my dad. I just whenever somebody mentions like my dad at all, or just like is your dad in the same industry, I get angry. I have a lot of anger towards him, and I just don't want to. I wouldn't say it's unresolved. It's pretty resolved. Like it's resolved because I've told him how I feel and how angry I've been towards my father for a long time. But yeah, I will say this: if I was any more autistic than I am, he would have found a way to late term abort me, man. Thank God he didn't know I was autistic when I was being formulated. But yeah. Anyway, I want to thank you guys. I appreciate y'all. And G Dog is out. See you guys later.